Hi boys and girls, this is Miss Edwards, and today I'm going to run through the steps of rounding numbers to the tenths and also to the hundredths with you. This should be a review from earlier in the year, but it has been a while, so let's get going. So first we're going to start with rounding to the tenths, and I just placed a place value chart here for your just to jog your memory. When looking at the place values, we have our ones, our decimal, the tenths, the hundredths, and the thousands. These two are the easy ones that we learned in 4th grade, and they kind of remind us of money. And the thousands is what we added to 5th grade. So first step is we're going to take our numbers. We're going to work with this number here. We're going to round 436 thousandths to the nearest tenths place value. And again, the tenths is right after the decimal. So step 1 is to underline the tenths place value, which I'll do here. So again, the tenths is right after the place value. And then we're going to look at the hundredths place value, and that is just one digit to the right. So we always look at this digit right next to the one that we're rounding to. And it'll make sense in just a minute why we do that. And so here, step number 2 is we stick these numbers on a number line. And so how do we do that? So we're going to start with the number that is for the smallest number that is going to go here. And what we do is we take the number that we underline and anything in front of it. So basically we're taking this here. So we're going to put 4 tenths here. Why are we doing tenths? Because if you remember, it's asking us to round to the nearest tenths. So we're going to add one more tenth. So if I were counting 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, my next tenth is 5 tenths. Now, if you'd like, you can add the 0 here just to make it like money. So 4 tenths is the same as 40 hundredths, or 4 dimes is the same as 40 pennies. And the same thing with 5 tenths is the same as 50 hundredths. Now, we need to figure out what goes exactly in the middle. So again, if we're talking about money, 40 cents to 50 cents right in the middle would be 45 cents. Now, we drew this arrow to the hundredths place value because this is going to tell me where on this number line this goes. So if I look at it, it's like 43 cents. Well, I know that 3 in the hundredths, 3 hundredths, is less than 5 hundredths. So this number is greater than 40 cents, but it's less than 45 cents. So it's going to go somewhere about there. So, and again, we care about this 3. That's why we drew the arrow to it. This 43 makes it smaller than 45, but 43 is larger than 40. So anything on this number line in front of this middle number is going to round down because it's closer to 40 cents. Anything above is closer to 50 hundredths or 50 cents. So this 436 thousandths is greater than 40 or 4 tenths or 40 hundredths and less than 45 hundredths. So it is closest to 40 hundredths versus 50 hundredths or 5 tenths. So because it's asked us to round to the tenths, I'm going to drop that 0 off. Again, remember that 4 tenths is equal to 40 hundredths. So you can write the 0 there or not write it. It doesn't really matter. So step 3 is just to answer the question. So 436 thousandths rounds to 4 tenths when I'm rounding to the nearest tenths. So we're going to do the same number, but this next time we're going to round to the nearest hundredths. So rounding to the nearest hundredths. And again, same number, 436 thousandths, and same place value. So we have our ones, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So this time, since we're rounding to the hundredths, we're going to underline the hundredths place value. And if I look here, that's just 2 place values after the decimal. So 1, 2. And we're going to look at the digit next to it in the thousandths. Again, that number is going to tell me where on the number line this goes. So we're going to put it on a number line. Again, we take anything we underline and the digit we underline anything in front of it, and that number goes right here. So again, we have 43 hundredths. If I'm counting by hundreds, it would be 40 hundredths, 41 hundredths, 42 hundredths, 43 hundredths, 44 hundredths. And in between that is going to be 435,000. So again, you can put those zeros on the end so it makes sense. So 430, 435 thousandths, 440 thousandths. And we're looking here at the 6. So I need to ask myself, is this 6 bigger or greater than or less than 5? Well, I know 6 is greater than 5, so this number is going to go somewhere after. Because again, 435, 436, and so on. So anything over here would round closest to 430 thousandths. Anything over here rounds up because it's closer to 440 thousandths. So because this is on the other side, the larger side or the greater side of 435 thousandths, we're going to be rounding up, and that is your answer. So step 3 is just to answer. So 436 rounds to 44 hundredths. Again, if you want to put the 0 there, that's fine. It doesn't matter. It's 44 hundredths is equal to 440 thousandths. They are the same.